Howdy everybody, it is Paladin Topaz here bringing you a Sea of Thieves discussion video today. So this is going to be one on a particularly nasty subject to address. We are going to be talking about the multiplayer aspect of Sea of Thieves and how it is going to work. So to basically sum up, we don't know. That's basically it, we don't know. But I am going to do my best to explain different theories about how it could work and how it might work in the game. So without further ado, let's get started. So there's a lot of different theories as to how this is going to work, but the biggest and most popular one, I suppose, is that it's going to be like Destiny's MMO aspect. So Destiny, if you're not sure, if you don't know, I haven't played it myself, but I just researched it a little bit because I heard it was absolutely horrible and marketed all wrong and stupid shit like that, but I'm not going to get into that. But basically, Destiny's got one server that's online, and it's always a shared world. You cannot play offline, but they're calling it a shared world, but you can do a large amount of the campaign, almost the entire story, by yourself without having to use other actual players. And that seems like a very good idea to me, but it has to be executed very well, because if you can play the entire game by yourself, but you have to be online, so you'll still run into other players as you go through, and it makes sense actually in a pirate world that you can play by yourself pretty much the entire time, but it's shared, so it's all on one server, and you're gonna run into these other pirates who you can either probably fight or kill or take their gold or become friends with, and that makes sense. And actually on their website, these two little pictures I have, it says up in the top right hand corner that it's a treacherous shared world, which totally would make sense because it's treacherous in the fact that you have to be careful where you go. There's always pirates around, but you don't actually have to be involved. It's not going to force you to, it's just going to encourage it. And at the bottom left here it says an epic multiplayer and adventure, which means I'm sure you will be able to play with your friends and etc. if you desire to do that. Another topic that has been raised about this discussion is it might be like how No Man's Sky plans to do it, in which case they would drop you on an island and leave you to be. But I don't think that's not how it's going to work, because then how would you get a ship, and would you be by yourself or not? I don't think that's how it's going to work, so I'm not going to discuss it further, but I thought I'd just mention it. And then the other aspect that is possible would be the traditional MMO aspect, but that's not how it's going to work because they said it's a treacherous shared world adventure. And I think that's going to work very well. The traditional MMO, by the way, I mean, you make a character, put him in the world, he goes through a tutorial, and then he's just unleashed into the world. But I don't think that's how it's going to work. Honestly, I feel it's going to be like Destiny's, and that will work very well, I think, personally, because it'll allow you to interact with other actual players in the sense where you can either make friends with them or steal their gold, and that'll make a whole new sense of danger that really brings it to life in more depth, if you know what I mean. So to sum up, I don't think that there will be a single player offline experience because it would take too much time to make that happen, but being in the shared world, you don't have to interact with actual characters and players around the world, but you have to be cautious of them, and they're always going to be a threat in that sense. Now, how the multiplayer aspect is going to affect the story of it, or if there is going to be a story or an imminent story, I don't know how that's going to work. I would like there to be a story, kind of, but also I'd like it to be a full-blown RPG where you can do whatever you want. So there will be a discussion video on the story later at a later date, but for now we don't really know anything about it. And I guess that is about it. Like the video if you liked it, comment down below what you think about the MMO topic. I'm very curious. And subscribe for more. So it's a pirate's life for me.